Bro, I just made the whole video and my mic was not on. Okay, so I gotta record this whole video again because my microphone was off. So first things first, I'm making a boom bap beat, dark, scary, OG hip hop. You know? Now boom bap is typically slow, so I've got it on like 90 BPM. I guess this is kind of a tutorial to how to make boom bap as well, because I could put this on YouTube and people could be like, nah, how do I make boom bap? And I'd be like, this is how you make boom bap. Like an Alchemist, you know, Freddie Gibbs, maybe a bit of Domo Genesis. I have to talk about what type of sounds were you trying to create for what genre, okay? So I need to create dark, scary, spooky sounds, right? Dissonant sounds. Which techniques did I use to capture and manipulate the samples? Now, the techniques this time I used to capture, I can say, is YouTube, and I screen recorded a sample in, and then use that sample, and then, so I'll show you how I did that and manipulated it. Why did I choose this technique? Well, for boom bap, for this genre, I'll go into a bit of depth on why I would choose these sounds, why I would choose these techniques, and the history behind that, and then what are the strengths and weaknesses of your composition. Now let's get to it. First things first, let me show you the original sample. A lot of the time these are, yeah, you hear that? So in the old school hip hop boom bap beats, the most common things to sample are like soul, old funk, jazz compositions, like all this old stuff, this piano smooth, it's laid back with vocals on the top. This is perfect for sampling boom bap hip hop. So I've got the sample from YouTube, and it's like some jazz in minor, and it sounds spooky. Now here's what I do with the sample. First things first, drag it onto a MIDI channel, because I'm gonna drag this into Ableton's built-in sampler, right? By chopping the sample up, what I've done is I've moved all of, see these little, where's my stingy? See these little bits here? I've moved it all, so I am chopping on one bar on a beat. What I mean by that is it's equidistant chops, one, and then the next beat here, next beat here, next beat here, in relation to the song's tempo or in relation to the grid. Instead of doing it off the drums, which is what you typically do, you match the tempo. So I've got it at 90 here, the sample's around about 90. I could have it move and be in time with the drums, right? But I haven't done that. What I've done is I've had it go to the rhythm of the vocal, so that the vocal is what's leading the sample, and the vocal is going to be the main part of this sample. So let me show you. This is how I chopped it, and that's a sample. So you can hear like the vocal is the thing that's leading it here, and it goes up, back down. It's very spooky sounding. I've pitched it down as well, which I forgot to say before, by 4 semitones. 4 semitones. That's the right word. So it's pitched down. It's sounding dark. It's sounding spooky. The piano in the background, which is going with the vocal, but it isn't the focus, is hitting on beat. The chords are hitting on beat, so that's just a perfect. I add in my piano chords with it to create this dark, dissonant noise. See? All sorts of diminished chords there, all sorts of whatever. I've done this because back in the day, this is obviously what you needed to do to create hip hop. To manipulate it, I used, yet again, my MIDI keyboard. I went sample on here. I went boom, boom, boom. Sorry, restart. Keyboard. I put the sample on the pads, and then I literally just like played it. There's a lot of movement at the end of the sample, and that's to give it like that build up, relax. Just relax. Is that rhythm, and this gives it space to be rapped on. And then you get to this section here where it gets a bit faster, and back to the rhythm. Perfect for rapping on. Let me demonstrate. Yeah, I'm rapping for a college project. Shouldn't do this. I'm stressing about submissions. This is a bad freestyle, but I guess I gotta keep in, cause the mission is being the best of this raps. Swear word, I can't say too much cause I'm trying to do schoolwork. And then when I publish this on YouTube, people gonna look and be like, what are you doing? bro. You made a beat and it's kind of hitting. Let's hear what I've got going on here. Okay, so what we've got is strings. Now, what I've done here for these strings is I've panned them left and right. I've added reverb to like put them further back in the mix. Bit of compression like sidechain and an EQ. This is a sample from a pack that I have. I'll show you now. Which is just some string sample. Now, this isn't technically in key, so I've put it onto the sampler and I'm using it like an instrument, which is something that you can do on Ableton, which is awesome. It basically means that your sample gets put on C, and if you move up, it's going to change the pitch like a normal keyboard. By doing that, you can turn your samples into instruments. So I've gone C to G to F. I don't even know if that is actually what it is. I'd play it by ear. But because you're pitching up the whole sample, you're pitching up all the harmonics and the artifacts with it, and that creates a really dissonant, that creates a dissonant sound. For this genre, and that's why I chose to do that, because it sounds hella creepy. Oh my goodness, it's so good. Boom bap, straight A's. I've said it before, straight A's, yeah. Going to show you now my next move, which was with these strings. What I've done is I've got this on the okay. I've panned them left and right. When you take the pan away, it sounds bad. Okay, this is me showing you this because I failed to say that statement like 4 times in a row. Here's what it sounds like. Normal. Sounds plastic. Mono. That's doing nothing for anyone. That's not good. By panning them and adding the reverb and that, I kind of put them around here in the mix. Imagine this, right? So I'm here. This is beat. It's like bass. Samples like here, right? And then you've got the like reverbs up spacey around here, and I put these like kind of like here. They're just chilling. They're not doing too much. They're just adding that like nice feel. And that's all it is really. Is like to effectively use this type of sampling method, you've got to be subtle with it, because by making it the whole focus, you end up giving it like weakness almost. If you make the sample the focus, because you're using sampling, you don't have the full control over the sound. So by using sampling and not having the control over the sound, your ability to manipulate certain aspects of that noise are gone, and that's a weakness. Now it's a strength in the sense that you can now have freedom when you're creating beats. You can whack something on a mini keyboard, any beat, time out perfectly, and you can make whole new compositions. The strength of doing it like this is that you can create ideas quickly, easily, and effectively. It's insane for making all this hip-hop stuff, arguably quite easy to make as well, but that is the strength of it. But obviously the weakness is now I can't control this little bit of bass in it. So I thought what my point was there, but that's the strengths and weaknesses of that, and that's how it sounds in the mix.